Mhm. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Fat Minute. Starting a little later than usual here tonight, but hey, that's okay. And tonight, no real subject. We're just kind of riffing, just taking a moment after doing our whole recap of the 2010s. Just take a moment to stop, smell the roses, and just have a fun conversation. See what we've both been up to. What are you doing?
Me?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
I'm just hearing a lot of background noise. What are you doing?
I'm walking around my kitchen.
Oh,
I just opened the fridge and closed it.
okay. Because it kind of sounded like a toilet lid being lifted. I was like, what are you doing?
Wait, was it this?
No.
Oh, I took a sip of my zero sugar Canada Dry.
Mm.
I didn't feel like being stuck. Plus, everybody else is already asleep anyway, and I didn't feel like being stuck in the office. So I figured I'd just put my AirPods in and walk around my own living room and kitchen for once.
Okay. Well,
So yeah.
tonight we're just goofing off, just riffing, just talking about what we've been up to and what we got planned and all that fun stuff. So how you living?
Fine. How about you?
Oh, I wish I wasn't.
Well,
And that's it. Episode's over. Good night.
all right. Good night. Stan's dead. Um, I finally saw Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten
Shang-Chi.
Rings. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings on Sunday.
I thought it was good. I saw it opening weekend.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. It was enjoyable. The main actor in it seems like a very nice guy. He was super likable,
Hmm.
and I liked everyone, and I thought everyone did a good job. With whatever they had, what little they had. Um, and Yeah, it probably has like the most likable primary protagonist other than like um Steve Rogers and T'Challa. Like,
Hmm.
as far as like he doesn't seem like really scummy or like kind of douchebaggy at all.
He's
And
he's just a good boy.
he's just a good guy. And but other than that, like, the movie itself was just like, your formulaic Marvel mumbo jumbo. You know, um, there's like the maze in the forest that's ever moving, and I'm like, wasn't this in like one of the Mummy movies? But whatever, and it was a fun enough 2 hours.
Yeah, I feel like uh, it's probably the Marvel movie that departs from the source material the most, but like to its benefit. Um,
Right.
because I mean, like it changed completely what the Ten Rings are and how they function, which I think definitely works because it's less Lord of the Rings this way, and it's less convoluted too. Because in the
Yeah.
comics, each ring has like a specific power, and it's worn on a specific finger, and it's just like, nah, this is easier.
Yeah. And also, like, it's just when you have all the rings combined, it basically just gives you big dick energy.
Yeah.
That's it, like, but
And it was cool that it,
but
it, it redeemed the plot twist from Iron Man 3 too.
yeah, yeah. I'm not like rushing to rewatch Iron Man 3 anytime soon, but like, I did not mind Ben Kingsley this time. It has probably, and I know that I kind of get burned out on Marvel Studios quips and jokes and gags, but and Trevor and I have quoted it back and forth. I love the whole, he's like, I was inspired to become an actor when I saw Planet of the Apes, and I was like, how did they train those monkeys to ride those horses? And then I realized they weren't monkeys riding horses. Those monkeys were just acting like they were riding horses. And he's like, and so I knew, if those monkeys can act, so can I.
he he he's a little wrong, but he's got the spirit.
Yeah, it's like that one Facebook tag group. You're right, but you're wrong about why you're right.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I was glad it redeemed the infamous Iron Man 3 twist. Um,
Which
You
I
know,
still I still say, other than that twist, Iron Man 3 is still a very solid movie in my opinion.
it's just for me. I get so stuck on the confusion of because basically the people who excused it was, well, it's the Mandarin. He's not that great of a villain anyway. What could you do with him? And my thing was always like,
You could have
I,
done
I
that.
was I was completely okay with the Mandarin being Osama bin Laden, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
comic booky. Like it seemed like I don't know. It's like if randomly, like in the last act of The Dark Knight, you find out the Heath Ledger Joker was just some stoner in his mom's basement hitting bong rips or whatever. It was like I
I
don't know.
mean that probably wouldn't have been too far from what he actually was.
No, those guys in real life just think they're the Joker. There's a difference.
That's true.
But
But yeah,
yeah, no.
the Mandarin twist in Iron Man 3 is like the one like disgusting smear on an otherwise like good movie.
Um, and but yeah, I think I give it like it's probably a solid B. You know,
Yeah.
as long as you're not looking for anything like amazing or like revolutionary, it's a solid B.
Yeah, when I saw it in theaters and it was the scene when he and his dad are fighting over the reins and everything, and they have that moment where he's like redirecting his dad's like attack or whatever, and they're like moving in a circle, and the camera cuts back and forth between them, and it like mirrors a similar scene when his parents first met. I was just like, oh, now they're gonna fall in love.
And also, I was like, is Wong gonna be like the new Stan Lee cameo now, or like what?
Yeah, that was interesting. I thought it was also kind of cool how it told us where the abomination's been this entire time for some reason.
But they will never answer whatever happened to Tim Blake Nelson as the leader.
Fuck them.
Oh, okay.
I mean, do we really need Jimmy Neutron as a villain? I mean,
Okay, but like you didn't have to introduce him at all then.
yeah. Well, I think at this point enough people have forgotten about that movie. They don't really need to address it.
Yeah, that's true. What else have you been up to?
I saw Venom 2 this last weekend.
I hear it has quite a little surprise later on in the movie.
Yeah, I mean the movie itself, I'd say it's a step or two above the first movie. The scenes with Carnage are definitely the best parts of the movie, and I mean
Hmm.
Woody Harrelson did a really good job as Cletus Cassidy and Carnage. Um,
Yeah.
the scenes especially like the probably the first half of the movie before they actually fight Carnage, where it's
Hmm.
mostly just Eddie and Venom. It's kind of like a weird like quirky buddy comedy in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, some parts it works, and other parts it doesn't. My only real gripe is with this movie, they really should have just gone for the R rating instead of PG-13. Um,
Right.
when you got like a parasitic space alien running around, legit eating people's heads off, like you should just go for the R rating.
Latching onto a infamous serial killer who's on death row.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, I would think that movie would be rated R, but
yeah.
they probably got a finger wag and a no to go for the R rating because of the little treat that's added later on in the movie. I guess I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't.
know. That's everybody's like go-to theory. I don't necessarily think that. I think I don't know. I think maybe Sony just did that just to do it. But
Yeah.
yeah, the mid-credit
Yeah.
scene, they did the thing that we said that they would never do, which is they put Tom Hardy's Venom in the MCU.
Yep. Yep. So I mean, spoiler alert, everybody. But I mean, if you haven't seen it by this point, it's Tuesday. It was probably spoiled for you on Twitter if you even bother listening to this podcast. So,
Yeah,
um, but yeah, no, yeah, consider me Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama in 2016. Like
same.
I was like, oh, they did that.
Yep, we're finally gonna get to see the two Toms together.
The two Toms. So they're gonna have to figure out. They're gonna have to come up with some plot to why this grown ass man is beefing with this teenager.
Well, I mean the way they presented it in the movie, because I mean the whole movie Venom is trying to be like the lethal protector, as he calls it.
Right.
And
Right.
at the end of the movie, like during the mid-credits scene, they get transported into the MCU. Um,
Hmm.
right as the clip from the end of Far From Home when J. Jonah Jameson's saying like he's given the news report that Spider-Man killed Mysterio and Spider-Man is Peter Parker, and then like he's watching that on the TV and Venom's just like this guy, and I'm like, okay, so they're probably gonna have like he's seeing Spider-Man as this giant superpowered like bully murderer, and that's why he's going after him.
Hmm.
Which I
Hmm.
mean, that's not that far from the comics why Venom hates Spider-Man. So
Yeah. Which, and honestly though, like they'll probably beef at first, but then eventually, since it's Tom Hardy and like they're going for like a like a, I guess an anti-hero or whatever. Tom Hardy will probably just eventually team up with Tom Holland anyway. Like they probably won't
which
be at each other's throat forever.
which
So,
is also pretty comic accurate. So
well, yeah, because like, yeah, I mean, like in some stories, like Venom kind of teams up with Spider-Man, right?
yeah,
So
usually pretty reluctantly, but yeah.
yeah, so I feel like that could be some funny quips between the
hmm
two. But yeah, so
I think probably what's gonna happen with No Way Home is I think they're setting up the Sinister Six most likely, and Venom is either gonna be part of the Sinister Six or he's just gonna be there just as like another part of this whole mess, and he's gonna be trying to bring justice to Peter Parker, and then he's gonna realize, oh wait, I'm wrong. This is actually the good guy, and then the Venom symbiote's gonna
yeah.
go to Peter, and we're gonna get the black suit, I think.
Yeah, so that way, like the Tom Holland Spider-Man would actually stand a chance against the Sinister Six because
Yeah.
I'm sure they would whoop his ass.
Well, then again, if he's
But
if Toby and Andrew are also in the movie, we're gonna have three Spider-Man against the Sinister Six. So
Jesus God, I mean,
there's so
I
many ways this movie can go. Like,
I can't wait for Medea and R2D2 to show up.
Heather.
It's like, I just want No Way Home to live up to my expectations, and there's this giant like poster of like Godzilla,
Yeah,
Seth MacFarlane's Ted,
yeah.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
A more bloated roster than fucking Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah. Speaking of Super Smash Brothers, go ahead and bring that up.
Yeah, they announced because that was kind of like big news on social media today. They announced the last DLC character for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and it's one that people have been asking for a long time, which is Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Which I mean, that's neat. I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. I'm not a Super Smash Bros. Fan though. I don't even own a Switch, so I mean, I'm just kind of like neat.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, no, I mean that's definitely cool. And then because of that, like I think I saw I guess I didn't make a connection between these two news stories. Because you and Trevor were going back and forth about Sora being in Super Smash Brothers in the chat earlier, and I guess I just missed those messages. But um, because of that, like the Kingdom Hearts games are going to be on the Switch eventually, right?
Yeah, I think they already are, or at least they've already been
Oh,
announced. I could be
yeah,
wrong
yeah.
though.
I think that's the article I saw today. Is like they're eventually like 1.5 and 2.5, and like they're eventually going to be on the Switch, which is cool. That's cool. Um,
Yeah, they recently released the whole series on PC, which is cool, and it's also fun because people on who are playing the games on PC have already started modding them, and then it's made some pretty fantastic results.
I I only played the first Kingdom Hearts game, which I loved. Which I loved. I loved the nostalgia of it. And I played. I definitely got done all of Roxas in two. And then I got to play a little bit of Sora, and it's definitely. I mean, I can't really judge it or critique it because I didn't get to finish the series and I didn't get to play any of the spin-offs. I got to play that Game Boy Advance card battle game, which I did not enjoy because
That is
I guess
such an underrated game.
that for me that format, that platform is just it's not my thing. But yeah, it just seems like those games really got more and more convoluted, or at least from an outsider point of view, because I just remember the first game being like, well, you just travel to different Disney worlds, and there's Final Fantasy characters sprinkled within. But then it really started to lean more and more into its own mythology, its own crafted plots and characters and storylines that it created itself. But I mean, yeah, I mean, you could probably write like entire books on that lore.
Oh, absolutely. Like it definitely, as the series goes on, leans more and more into its own mythology and characters. But whenever I hear the common, complaints of it's too convoluted, it doesn't make sense. I'm like, I've noticed that people who say that are people who only played like a couple of the games, like
Yeah,
here and there. They didn't play the whole series. It's not a convoluted lore. It's a complex lore, and
yeah,
I mean, if you only play like a couple games like here and there out of context and
yeah,
out of
yeah,
order, like you're not going to get the whole story and the whole context. So of course you're going to be lost. And I think you could say that with just about any franchise.
yeah. It could only make so much sense if all you're looking at are just short clips and stills.
Right.
You can't
So
really.
like I mean yeah but yeah you definitely could write like books on the lore of the Kingdom Hearts franchise. Um, I
Um,
mean, people say it's convoluted. I mean, I'm just like, hey, it makes sense to me. I've been able to follow along all these years, so.
yeah, yeah. Um, Now, speaking of the Switch, like Trevor was telling me, the Switch might have like a huge price drop just in time for the holidays because they're going to come out with a new edition of it or something. Which
Mhm.
that that might be interesting for me. I don't know. Um, Sometimes I just feel like I need just something to play late at night when I'm not ready to go to bed just yet. Plus, he was reminding me that like the two Hotline Miami games are on like a physical collection for the Switch, which I played that like a little bit here and there at Trevor's house years ago, and I've had the biggest urge to replay those just so I can just pretend that I'm Ryan Gosling and drive and be literally me.
I knew you were gonna do it.
I know. I was thinking about the 2000s episodes we did, and I think one thing I didn't get to bring up was in 2011 when we were talking about Drive the movie, and like the director of that movie became so annoyed with it because he just, for lack of a better way of wording it, he is kind of like a hipsterish dude,
Hmm.
and he just eventually became so annoyed that that was his most like popular and beloved movie, and like every time he's interviewed, people just want to cut straight to asking questions about that or mentioning how much they loved it. And I remember years ago Michael and I were talking about that, and he's like, yeah, but when you watch interviews with him at the time when that movie came out and beforehand, he's describing when he had found the story for it, and he had always wanted to make a movie about a driver that always felt like an outsider, never felt like he belonged anywhere, and he would think about it and he would start to cry, and it's like it's kind of sad how like he was so excited to make something, he finally made it, and then it became so loved by almost everybody else, he became tired of it. Like that's almost tragic in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was
I
just
imagine that's how a lot of bands feel about some of their songs.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like just like how there was a stretch of several years where Brendan Urie got fucking fed up with singing "I Write Sins, Not Tragedies,"
Hmm.
and I'm sure Fall Out Boy got tired of "Sugar We're Going Down." There's actually a great clip of Frank Sinatra like that. Frank Sinatra, he was a dickhead,
Yeah.
and and he was doing a show or whatever, and they were yelling for him to sing this one song, one of his more popular songs, and he goes, "Oh Christ, I hate that song," and they start booing, and he goes, "Oh, you'd fucking hate it too if you had to sing it every day." But yeah, I mean, no, you nailed it though.
Apparently Slash isn't a fan of Sweet Child of Mine.
I mean, that's the thing though. I remember being in your car and you playing like different Guns N' Roses songs and songs that are never played on the radio because let's be honest, the radio just does Sweet Child of Mine, Paradise City, and what else? But you were playing like the songs that like they don't even bother playing on the radio.
Hmm.
And I'm hearing them and I'm like, It's a shame they don't bother to play any of these because yeah, I'm kind of tired of Welcome to the Jungle. Like November Rain is pretty good, or Patience. Like those are good,
Yeah.
but yeah, no.
I'd I'd
Instead,
I'd I'd,
you
I'd say I'd say about half. I'd say most of the Use Your Illusion albums are better than Sweet Child of Mine, even though Sweet Child of Mine is a good song.
it's a good song, but after so many years,
Yeah.
after so many years, turn on Rocky 106. Where do we go? Oh man. Oh. Did you ever see Rock of Ages?
No.
No. It's Trevor's friend Nick summed it up best, which was it's basically Go 106 with a plot.
I remember hearing that. Which, for
Yeah.
those who aren't familiar, Go 106 is the local like classic rock station around here. Um,
Yeah.
and the only thing they play is like literally like fucking Led Zeppelin and AC/DC.
Yeah, it's like the same like 20 songs.
Yeah,
20
it's
might be generous.
yeah, it's not a good time. I don't recommend it. Yeah, they thought
What
we'd
else
have
has been?
they thought we'd have their back, fellow radio boys. Fuck them.
Ooh,
Play
I wasn't.
play different songs. I fucking I don't like AC/DC or Led Zeppelin.
What else has been on your mind lately?
Um, Not much.
All right, good night. Oh man, man. Well, what do you have planned for the rest of this week, though?
Work.
Donnie, is there a reason why we did this episode?
What are you
Oh
doing?
man. I'm just looking at my breast cancer awareness Superman Funko Pop.
Oh yeah, he's all pink and shit.
Yeah, yeah. Sean gave it to me for my birthday.
And he's all pink like
Um,
the day he was born.
yeah, yeah. Ew. Um, did you get to try out the razor I got you yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. Hmm.
So is there anything on TV lately that's been decent?
Well, Trevor has been really recommending that Midnight Mass show on Netflix.
Yeah, I've been seeing
And
people post about that.
it's like the new like horror Halloweeny. I mean, it's not literally about Halloween, but they released it in October for a reason. But
Mhm.
anyway, it's the new series by Mike Flanagan, who did The Haunting of Hill House and Doctor Sleep.
Mhm.
Which in this household we stand Mike Flanagan. Um, but yeah, no, it looks really good. The guy who plays the priest in it is an awesome actor. He's just one of those guys where whenever he pops up, you're like, oh, that guy. And yeah, no, it looks good. I'm looking forward to starting it. Speaking of TV, I need to get on your list for the best episodes of your favorite shows.
Yes, you do.
Um,
I think
yeah.
I got two more from your list to watch still.
Okay. What tour is that?
Frasier and let's see, I've watched New Girl, Watchmen, and Community. What was the other one you gave me?
Um, Psych, the vampire
Okay,
episode.
yeah, I need to watch Psych and Frasier.
Yeah, yeah. Psych and Frasier. Um, you'll hear the blues of Colin.
Okay,
Tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
all right,
That's the theme song to Frasier.
neat.
Jesus. Oh God. What other episodes are you looking forward to in the future though?
Well, we got TV Part One coming up next time, which will be we're gonna go through your list, and then TV Part Two, we're gonna go through my list. We each made a list
Hmm.
of our top five favorite TV shows and picked one episode from each of them that we would choose to show to somebody not really familiar with those shows. We're just gonna talk
Hmm.
about it. It's gonna be a fun time. And then we got X-Men. We're gonna rank all the X-Men movies. I feel like at some point we also like put a put another Cards Against Humanity episode in there somewhere. That'll be
Yeah,
fun.
I'm down for that one.
So we got some fun episodes coming up.
Yeah, yeah. I
Then
was Oh no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say next week is Halloween Kills.
Oh yeah. I thought you were about to say next weekend is Halloween. I'm like, wait, what? I know September flew by, but there's no way October flew by that fast. Um, Halloween Kills, and then this upcoming weekend is No Time to Die,
I don't
James
care about
Bond.
that.
Well, I the
You know,
last James Bond movie you saw was Spectre, so I can't blame you
well,
technically, but
you know how we were just talking about how like the director of Drive got so sick of his movie and like bands got so sick of certain songs from having to play them all the time. I officially got so fucking sick of Daniel Craig's No Time to Die after seeing no less than 50 fucking previews for it, waiting for Venom 2 to start.
uh, who'd you see?
At that point I feel like I saw the movie.
Who'd you see Venom 2 with anyway?
My friend Sydney, who has guested on this show before, and her boyfriend Nick.
We gotta have Sydney back on sometime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll have her on for Cards Against Humanity.
we'll have her on for a Venom rank. Rank the two Venom movies, and then it's 5 hours long.
Fuck that.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll be ranking the X-Men movies with Michael. Anyone listening in, Michael is very opinionated when it comes to the X-Men canon, so
Yeah, he
he
is.
will he will have a lot to say about that, and I will look forward to that. Um, I believe he and I are mostly on the same page. I think you are too, really. Like, I think we all kind of agree that Days of Future Past, like, while it was while it was definitely good, like at the time, but like over the years, looking back, like it could have been better.
Yeah, I didn't. I was so disappointed just walking out of that movie.
I was definitely underwhelmed with the road cut. Like,
Yeah, oh my God, you waited a whole fucking year for that Blu-ray, and you bought it, and it ended up being fucking worse. I was mad for you, but I couldn't really show it because I was too busy laughing.
yeah, well, at least the Snyder cut was worth the wait. I mean, I guess if I had to choose between the two,
Yeah, what a tough
uh,
choice.
yeah, I mean, really, in the road cut, all you do is you get to see Beast squeeze her butt, and that was it.
We,
Oh. How's Professor X back? Yes.
yes. Why does Wolverine have metal claws again?
Yes.
Yes. Why is Kitty Pryde suddenly have a new power? Fuck it, never mind.
Oh man.
All those questions within like the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. 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 And then someone tried to defend it with, well, this is just simply an alternate future where Professor X did live. And I'm like,
No, it's not.
what?
No, it's not.
Because then when he looks inside Wolverine's mind, he relives the last stand. So it's
Yeah.
like, what? God, I don't know if you've ever seen this whole trilogy, Donnie, but like the time travel logic became just as lazy as Austin Powers.
I still haven't
Crazy.
seen Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix, so it'll be, or New Mutants, so it'll be fun watching those for the first time for this ranking episode.
Apocalypse is definitely like a fun like it has more action than the other two movies, like First Class and Days of Future Past. That was another thing. Days of Future Past didn't have enough action in it. And it's like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to sound like a dumb teenager when I say that, but like it's a, you were able to like combine both X-Men cast together and it just needed more action in it. But
Hmm.
anyway, Apocalypse is a fun time. Like people It's definitely the most underrated X-Men movie. Like people give it way too much shit, and I feel like in the past, a lot of the people who do give it shit are never able to articulate why they don't like it. Like they're just dunking on it for the sake of roasting it.
Congratulations,
Um,
you now know how I feel with the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
and but yeah, no. I mean, Apocalypse is a fun time, and I can't speak for Dark Phoenix, but I hear like they bring back the same screenwriter who messed up the Dark Phoenix saga before, and
Imagine,
they gave him,
imagine, imagine being given the opportunity to call take backsies and be given a do-over and still fucking it up.
yeah, he was given a mulligan, and it was still. And then one of their defenses was, oh, it was supposed to be a two-parter, but then it turned out to be too similar to Captain Marvel, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know.
he was given a mulligan and then he aimed straight for the lake.
From my understanding, like the villain in Dark Phoenix, not the actual Dark Phoenix, but the other villain. They always have to have another villain that's not Jean Grey. But
Hmm.
anyway, is like kind of sort of made up, or they're at least like a remix of a character and from the comics. But like, why didn't you just do Mister Sinister? I don't understand why the X-Men movies haven't done Mister Sinister yet.
Because Mr. Sinister's fucking dumb. He's
He,
even got he's even got a dumb fucking name. Mr. Sinister.
okay, hold on, hold
That's
on.
a that's a
You cannot
Scooby Doo villain.
hold on. You cannot stand Doctor Doom, but then dunk on Mister Sinister.
I absolutely can because Doctor Doom has a PhD. He earned that shit. And Doom is an actual last name in the real world. So there you go. Mr. Sinister though, fuck off.
It's a fucking comic book.
Okay, and he's still a dumb fucking character.
Honestly, I don't even know what Mister Sinister's powers are, so I can't even defend him.
There you go.
It's just like it's just like what you say people do with Cable, which
Yeah.
I was just always under the impression Cable was a technopath.
I don't know what he is. Nobody knows what he is. But I've always wished that the X-Men movies would one do Omega Red or Onslaught.
Mhm.
I always thought those were really cool X-Men villains. I mean, Omega Red just
Oh,
looks cool.
I still personally think they should do the Hellfire Club from the animated series where they just look like the founding
Yeah,
fathers for some reason.
yeah.
There's just what if Thomas Jefferson was an android, which that sounds terrifying in and of itself. Why are we listening to Mr. Bad Hair Day? Also,
Really,
that's the
really,
other thing.
really, you're gonna look at that and that's the best insult you can come up with?
Yeah, which that's another thing. The X-Men movies finally get to include Bishop, and he doesn't even have any lines, or he barely says a word.
Yep. And he doesn't really even do anything.
But he looked cool.
Yeah. I thought the Sentinels looked cool in Days of Future Past.
They definitely did. They definitely did. Um,
They honestly look a lot more terrifying than they do in the comic books.
where they just look like a giant Mega Block man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I wonder if Sentinels will be in No Way Home.
I don't know. Probably not.
Oh. I wonder if my dad will be in No Way Home.
Probably just because he'll probably get lost on his way to Roy's. He'll take a wrong turn somewhere.
Oh shit.
Even though he's been going there every day for the past 50 years.
What all have you been playing lately?
Mostly just Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 on the PS4. I'm 2 trophies away from platinuming the game, so that's cool.
I've been playing Tony Hawk's Going to the Store. You want anything?
Yeah, can I get a can of purple?
You want to can? That's another episode we should do. The underrated comedies that we love so much.
Yeah, Sex Drive.
You want a can of purple? Huh? How about that? It actually says purple.
Oh, that day when we Wonder Twin powers activated in the fucking college center, just want a can of purple.
Don't worry about it, man. She ain't worth it. She's just gonna shit all over you.
Oh man, it smells like Halloween.
That was honestly the most perfect thing ever because I was like, oh my god, I've been driving around Lavale sometimes, and there are times like there are times where in October there's just this overwhelming smell of piss. And
Hey,
no, not Lavale,
I was
but
gonna
no, no,
say,
no, no, but Crescent Town. I meant Crescent Town.
yeah, I was gonna say, don't be talking shit about LaVale. We clean up around here.
Yeah, okay, cool. Crescent Town.
Yeah,
There's sometimes this overwhelming smell of piss.
it's the apple cider.
Okay.
Gonna go bobbing for apples.
Oh, man. Mm.
Yeah, it smells like
Oh,
Halloween, and we all knew exactly what he meant.
yeah, exactly. But oh shit, I forgot. Dave Chappelle's new and final Netflix special is on today, like
Oh, is
starting
it?
today.
Is it?
Yeah, the closer. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, 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 yeah. I shoot, I might even watch that as soon as we're done here.
Well, shit. I I'll just never forget what Dave Chappelle said about Candace Owens. He he ripped into her, and it was great.
Oh, it was beautiful. He was like, she's the worst. She is the most articulate the most articulate idiot I've ever heard in my life. She
Yeah.
can tell you she can tell you how stupid she is precisely. And it was just perfect. And then she was like, "You're a legend, Dave Chappelle, and I respect you, but I dare you to say all that to my face." Like, okay, yeah, confront him in person. He won't shy down from that. Like,
No, he won't.
no, like he, he's not afraid to tell you, Stinky. Oh God. God, you want to talk about the dumbest thing I've ever heard? It's impossible for anyone to have been racist towards Meghan Markle. She's only 13% African American or whatever the hell. She's percentages, and it's like racist people don't carry around calculators and be like, "Hold on, I gotta, type in what percentage they are before I can talk shit about them."
Right.
What world are you living in?
Barack Obama's only 50% black, but I saw 100% nooses at those rallies.
Whew.
So,
Mm, mm, mm.
what else you getting into?
Other than hopefully booting up this final Dave Chappelle Netflix special, I've just been playing Crackdown on Xbox 360. Um, so yeah, no, I only play the same few games over 15 years. The
you,
last time, well, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say you need to come over so you can finally fulfill your destiny and beat Croc on the
Yeah,
PS1.
that's true. For anyone listening, we'll do a quick story time.
Okay.
It's 10 to 11. We're good. We're fine.
Yeah.
But in the third grade, my mom had a very, black and white, plain as paper um, deal with me, where every week I had a spelling bee. I had a spelling test. I had a spelling test, in elementary school. And if I aced it, I she would take me to Blockbuster or Potomac Video, and I got to rent a video game for the weekend. So finally, um,
Good old
after
Potomac Video when you want it Blockbuster but with a weird smell.
after 3 or 4 weeks in a row of striking out with like a C on my spelling bees, just because I don't know. This was when I was starting to have test anxiety, and
This is when you were
oh
starting
fuck
to
it,
have testy anxiety?
test anxiety. But anyway, you knew what I said. But also, I don't know. I think like during third grade was a weird year for me because I switched schools and then I wasn't happy at either school and I don't know, I was just not paying attention anyway. But I got a C on a spelling test. And I was like, you know what? Um, I'm just gonna lie. I Here's the thing. I was a kid and I was like, it's either I tell the truth and don't get to rent a video game this weekend. First of all, I don't want anybody to think like I went home and my mom beat me or I didn't get to do anything. I just wasn't gonna rent a video game that weekend. But I was like, oh, it's either I get to rent a video game or I don't. Yeah, I'm just gonna lie. So I told mom, and I was like, okay, all right, can we go before dinner time? She goes, so I hurried her, I rushed her. I was like, yeah,
Jesus.
it's in my book bag, mom. It's all the way at the bottom of my book bag. I'm not pulling it out right now. I don't. It's in the back seat, and let's just go. Let's go. Come on, come on, come on. And so she took me, and I picked out Croc, and it was a load of fun. I mean, like, it wasn't the best video game I've ever played, but like, I had fun with it, and I was
Looking
like,
back on it, I think it's a very underrated gem.
and like you definitely know where you are in it. Like it
Yeah,
shows like the island and how you progress and stuff. Because a lot of other games, it's like I have no idea if I'm halfway through the game or like three-fourths through the game.
right.
But I was at the top of the island, the mountain island or whatever, and I had to face like I could be completely misremembering this shit, but it was at the top of the island, and I had to face the ladybug with boxing gloves.
Yep, yep.
Yep. So
That's
yeah,
that's the
and
last boss of the first island.
well, there you go. Well, at the end of the right in the middle of the boss fight, my mom on Sunday evening when she would have taken the game back on Monday, and it wasn't even that late. Sunday evening, she finally said, "Oh Blake, by the way, you never let me see your spelling test. I want to put I want to put it on the fridge." And I was like, "Hey, Ma, you don't need to put another one on the fridge. There's plenty of stuff on the fridge. There's Grandma, there's Dana, there's Pop. You don't need my test on there." So here's the thing, this was like one of the few times my mom believed a lie for this long because she's able to read my mind. I cannot lie to my mom. I can't get away with it. She can read right through me. So I try to be an honest person, but that's also because when I grew up, I didn't have any other choice. Like I got caught in my bullshit. I couldn't really fib all that much. And so yeah, no, my mom has a superpower where I can't lie worth shit. And she goes, "Oh my god, you lied to me. You lied to me." And she's like looking for it. She pulls my book bag out. She rummages through it and she sees it. She goes, "You lied to me. You lied to me." And I go, "Oh, mom, please let me just finish the boxing glove ladybug." And she turned my PlayStation 1 off. And I didn't expect her to understand. Oh, 5 more minutes and it's all going to be moot anyway. But she turned it off. And I was like, son of a bitch. So I have told Donnie this story several times over the years, and Donnie is very much supportive of my quest to eventually sit down and finally play Croc and
And
beat
Croc
it,
too.
and Croc too. So,
I'll order us a pizza. We'll have a good time, a good evening.
no, because then history is going to repeat itself in a very awkward way where, this time my wife is going to be like, "Oh, did you finalize your taxes and 401k for the year?" I'll
No,
be like,
it's
"Oh yeah,
no, it's still gonna be your mom. She's gonna come over and fucking rip my PlayStation out of the wall because I bought a motorcycle.
God,
She's gonna rip my
yeah."
PlayStation out of the wall because I told her I wasn't gonna ride it anymore, and then I did.
Now, Donnie, don't you ride that thing?
Oh, she's still mad at me over that.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, she's a very progressive lady, but then in other ways, it's like no, she doesn't think people should ride motorcycles.
No, she does not.
So, but at least something else happened where she got to forget about me owning a skateboard.
Yeah, so you're welcome.
Yeah, yeah.
It was literally that incident of where like you failed a test at school, but then your little brother like called the teacher a bitch. So so your crime was like completely like swept under the rug.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but
Well,
well, any other any other final thoughts for the evening before we wrap it up?
no, not really. Just I got mentioned it last episode, but I got a couple shows coming up. August 22nd, 7 p.m. at the Indy on Main Theater in Kaiser, West Virginia. I'll be hosting that one, which will be fun, and then
Awesome.
November 12th at the I'll be performing at the Embassy Theater in downtown Cumberland. So if you're in the area, come check them out.
And anyone listening in, just follow at Don John Laughs because he will, you know, I'm assuming he will be posting this information on Twitter and his Facebook page. So follow that so you have
I
it in
sure
print.
hope so.
All right. Well, I'm ready if you are.
All right, well, be sure to follow us at Fat Minute Radio on all the social medias: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Be sure to follow Blake at Pukasasi, and as he said, be sure to follow me at Don John Laughs. So, on that note, for BVJ, thank you,